Salve, amica, and welcome. Today we are in John chapter 3, taking a look at the first of these two standalone paragraphs that we have here from, as I already said, John chapter 3. Now, technically they don't stand alone, they are part of the greater whole, as you can see right here from post hike. So we're just taking these as a single unit here for the sake of ease. I think we've only got one more paragraph after these left in the chapter. Today we're just going to do verse 22 and handle 23 next week. All right, wane it. Already we've had problems with this one in the very, very last, I think, 2 weeks ago now. This one could either be the present or the perfect tense, but we've parsed it so many times that that's all I'm going to write this time. So perfect or present, came or come. So in a singular subject with that, hike has to be the object of this preposition right here, not a participle. Jesus with that us. Perfect fit for our subject. We'll take that. That is not how you write an S. Jesus came or Jesus comes. Post hike, let's handle that next. Post takes the accusative in its object. Hike here initially looks like it could be a nominative singular feminine, but the feminine as accusative singular is not the same as its nominative. The only thing that appears like this is neuter, plural, nominative, or accusative. So that's what we have here. Plural and neuter. This means after these things, and this is of course referring back to the conversation that Jesus just had during the night with Nicodemus. So now we have the context. We know that this happens immediately after, or I guess I shouldn't say immediately because we don't have the word for immediately there. Et and discipuli eius, his, genitive singular of is id. Discipuli could be nominative plural or genitive singular. They don't really have anything proper to own since they're already being owned, so nominative plural makes the most sense. In Judaiam, prepositional phrase right there. This one is taking the accusative and its object. We know because the am looks like teram is also part of this. Iluk is not correct for that, so our prepositional phrase has to end there. These are singular, these are feminine. In Judai, oh gosh. I meant to look this up after the Greek video, but I forgot to. I still don't remember how to spell Judean. I'm going to leave it as that, as I left it with the Greek one, and I guess when I remember I'll get back to it. Sorry about that. Land. Moving on. And iluk. Iluk is a special form that comes from ele, ela, elud. This IC, specifically the C right there, changes it into a locative form. And this one points to a location. We translate it as there. As in over there. Okay, moving back to demorabatur. Bat right there, that should tell us that this is a imperfect tense verb. The UR tells us that it is passive, and this is also a third person singular. And it is indicative. So then the meanings for this one are keep back. He was keeping back, or he was delaying, or he was, I think staying is the other option. So, there we go. Could be any of those. We don't really have too much context around this to tell us one way or the other. We'll have to see when we get to the end of this verb. And we'll also take a look at the other options for the imperfect in a minute. Cum, another preposition. This one takes the ablative all times, except when it is not a preposition, and instead introduces a cum clause. But as we took a look at this, ace is a form of is id. This time it is acting as a preposition, and with a plural demonstrative. Masculine, feminine, or neuter, they all share the same forms. Oh, sorry, ablative, not accusative. With them, et, and baptizabat. Ah, good. Bat, except this time without the UR, we have a active. Otherwise, it is identical to that one. So I'm just going to do that. And was baptizing. There we go. That is the end of verse 22. Now we can take a look at the different options for the imperfect and see if we have enough with us right now to figure out which of these three is the best. So, and he was keeping back with them and he was baptizing, or and he kept keeping back with them, or and he began to keep back with them, or he used to keep back with them, or he emphatically kept back with them. Could be any of those, considering that we have baptizing, and what we will know next week when we take a look at 23 and apparently 24 is that baptizing is something that he hasn't been doing very much, especially when we get to the paragraph beyond this. I think, if I'm remembering my Bible passages correctly, then we know that this is something that Jesus hasn't been doing until recently, at least in this spot. So inceptive, so began to is a good one. Continuous is another good one. Emphatically, I'm not sure how you baptize emphatically. Well, anyway, let's take a look at this in its own context now. I'm going to leave this just as continuous. It's the most common, most simple form of the imperfect. After these things, Jesus came or comes, and his disciples into Judah, the land of Judah, and there he was keeping back with them, delaying with them, staying with them, and he was baptizing. There we go. I hope taking a look at this has been helpful for you, and I hope that you have a very good day. Thank you very much for joining me. Wale.
Hey, not asleep yet? That's okay. I've got tons of other equally sleep-inducing videos for you to watch. Check them out.